So there's the radar image and the statement from Raleigh on this particular cell. Tornado warning remains in effect till 7 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, and that's the key word, capable of producing a tornado, located near McLeansville or 7 miles northeast of Greensboro. And let's see if they've adjusted the speed of movement. No new information. Oh, yes, there is. Now saying moving at 50, so it's moving a little bit slower. And there you can see McLeansville is right here on the map. So got McLeansville right there, and as we see in the, this is mainly north of McLeansville because McLeansville town proper is not actually in their warning polygon. So they're talking mainly north of McLeansville right now. Let's see what we got for the wind rotation for the storm now. And you can see where that is. And just to give you an idea, because I know when I read a town to you, the Weather Service mentions, I also don't want anyone to be too alarmed because McLeansville is actually about 5 to 6 miles south-southwest of that rotation. So that rotation is showing up north of McLeansville. So McLeansville is mainly north of you, is where this cell is. But if you live up here to the north of there, this is where it is at the moment. Let's just check what the speed is coming up at now. 40 miles per hour in that particular scan. So my hope is that because these scans that are showing us the rotation have been staying below 55 miles per hour, remember we had that one that peaked out at 54, hopefully we won't get any ground truth on this. Hopefully we won't get any tornado. You know, we get straight line winds all the time of 60 plus mile per hour. So we got a 54 mile per hour rotation on radar. So again, straight line winds can cause every bit as much damage as that would cause. Hopefully that number is not going to go up any higher. But again, tornado warning is out from the National Weather Service for northern parts of Guilford County. And I do believe that today, because of the way the atmosphere is, they will probably put tornado warnings out more quickly and easily than they normally would, just because they know the chances of one spinning up is so much higher today. So that's something that we are certainly aware of. I'm going to check the chat again and see if there's anything new that's come out for us. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to ask Kate. Kate, will you check the new Storm Prediction Center's Outlook? Because I see there's an Outlook. I just want to see if we've been upgraded or downgraded in that, and I'll relay that to the public. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for parts of Davidson, Guilford counties, and other parts of the Triad. So while we wait for this scan to come back and update, we're going to back out just to show you that real quick, and then we're going to go back in and track this wind rotation that we've been looking at.
Dan, we're still enhanced risk, except for the slight end of Montgomery County. That's
okay. Very good. So we're still in the enhanced risk, and I do have an update here now for you too. You can see that Blacksburg has now joined in. As we look here, you can see that the warning area has been expanded to cover those counties up across. Tornado warning is now in effect for parts of Rockingham County and Caswell County. This tornado warning, again, is out for the same cell, and it's until 7:30 here this evening. So you're looking at the cell that's the northeast side of Greensboro, moving up and moving in this fashion to impact parts of southeastern Rockingham County and also the southwestern parts of Caswell County. You're under the tornado warning for this cell. So now that is the new thing that we've gotten. And as we are looking at that, we'll go back here on the computer and look at the rotation and see exactly where it is. There you can see a broad view. There's a time lapse of it here, and you can see the way it's moving is from southwest to northeast. Again, the latest fix on it from the National Weather Service is now saying it's moving at 50 miles per hour, and to me it's looking better organized. I'm going to go in here and look, and you can just clearly see that side by side. Now the bright green and bright red is what would cause you a lot of problems, so I'm going to pick just a couple of spots on here where they're closer to each other, and still seeing generally close to 40, 45 mile per hour type rotation with this particular cell. A lot of that is going on with it right now, and the location that's seeing that is now up there toward that Osceola area I mentioned, and is crossing over 61 and 150. that particular intersection is where we've got it. Yes, Kate?
In Rockingham and Caswell, they've extended that to 7:30, but Guilford's still 7.
Right, so Guilford County is still till 7:30 for Rockingham and Caswell for this cell as it continues to lift off in that direction. It'll be exiting Guilford County here, of course, before we get to about 7 o'clock. It's going to be getting out of Guilford County. So this is going to be more of a threat for Rockingham and part of Caswell County at that point. So that's what we're seeing there. Let me just check and see if the Weather Service is putting out any more comments on this. Everything else is a severe thunderstorm warning that we are covering across the area. And backing out, just for those of you that are just tuning in, because I know a lot of folks just getting home and get you up to speed again. We've got a tornado watch out for our coverage area until 11 tonight. That's only because this watch extends to eastern North Carolina, and it will take until 11 to clear these counties. Western counties have already been being trimmed and chopped up when this line that's moving through here now moves through. They had it out earlier in these counties, no longer. So we'll be trimmed out of this shortly as it passes by, but right now it's over top of us right now. And again, we've got the orange areas that are shaded on here. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings from up close to Danville, back all the way down into Guilford County and Alamance County, Randolph County, Montgomery County. Those are for storms that are producing damaging wind gusts of 60 plus miles per hour. And of course, we've got the tornado warning. That's the reason we're on the air right now with continuous coverage. And you can see the tornado warning is in effect for northeastern Guilford County and also southeastern parts of Rockingham County and southwestern Caswell. Now, if you look at the map closely on here, you can see that Reidsville, a lot of you watching us from Reidsville, this polygon is just southeast of town. So if you live in the heart of Reidsville or west side of Reidsville, you're not in the tornado warning. But if you live southeast side of Reidsville, you are. So again, those are the folks that need to be taking precautions for this particular cell. And the very latest on the rotation is right there. So you can see the rotation for the storm and how it's been moving with time off to the northeast. And then I'm going to freeze it to the current time and just go in here and show you a little bit more on it. And I can tell I've got a new scan again. And as we look at this, the number is probably going to be higher because I'm seeing a brighter red than I have seen. So right in here, that did not match up. So numbers sometimes don't match what you see on the colors. So we can get this to do like it's supposed to do. Okay, we've got a Greensboro tower cam available to us, so we're going to take a look at that. 44 mile per hour rotation is what it's showing now. You can see over the city of Greensboro now, lightning flashes, the streets are very wet. Again, the worst of the weather has been moving through Greensboro the last 20 to 30 minutes. From here on out, things will be improving for Greensboro, but northeast of Greensboro, we're still dealing with this storm that we're dealing with right now. Let's go back now to the radar. Here we are, and I'm going to take a closer look at this. And with a squall line, you typically see things more elongated. You don't get quite the spin up as efficiently as you do with a regular supercell. Notice how long this is now getting. When there's longer, it's more straight line than it is the rotation. But nonetheless, there's quite a difference between these two. So there's some very strong wind gusts now coming into the southeastern part of Rockingham County. We're zoomed in pretty tight, but just to give you an idea of where we are, there is Reidsville right up there. So we're talking southeast of Reidsville. That's where that rotation is going to be passing. So it's passing pretty much up Highway 150 that goes from Rockingham County up into Caswell County. That's where we're seeing this rotation at the moment. Checking the wind speeds that are showing up in the area now. 51, we're back to 51 miles per hour. Right there at the Guilford County, Rockingham County line is where we're seeing some of the strongest rotation speeds. Now, north of there, we're actually seeing some of the brighter reds, but the rotation's not as strong. And again, you can see as it gets a new scan how quickly it moves. Okay, we got a new number here that's a little bit more impressive. This is now getting mostly into Rockingham County. And you can see the wind rotation now is at almost 60 miles per hour for this storm. And this is approaching in North Carolina 87. So Highway 87 is in the path of this storm. And I'm talking the part that's in Caswell County, not the part that's farther south. And so let's look at where exactly this is. And we'll go down and see some streets and then see who's in the path of this particular cell. Right now, that rotation is coming up close to Zeb Road and Parkdale Road, Country Line Road, Highway 87, Alamance Drive, Cherry Grove Road. These are communities in Caswell County, because there's probably an Alamance Drive in Alamance County too, but this is in Caswell County we're looking at here. And then you can see it's going to be moving up more to the northeast. So I'm going to do a track on this now from where it's at and let you know arrival times. So there's the rotation that's most significant. It's moving northeast. And before I do that, I need to change that speed from 65 back to 50. So we can get an accurate arrival time. And now you can see the way it's moving. These are the communities in the path. Locust Hill at 6:57, Fitch at 7 o'clock, West Yanceyville at 7:03, the heart of Yanceyville 7:05, Top Knot at 7:08. So you can see again where it is now and where it's forecast to go. Most likely it's probably going to come on a path that will take it just south of Yanceyville if it were to stay on a straight line and not meander. And usually these stay pretty consistent. Okay, what have we got?
55 miles an hour, 8 miles west of Wadesboro.
And is that a severe thunderstorm
Tornado
warning?
warning.
Oh, we have a tornado warning
in Montgomery County.
Okay.
Just popped up.
All right, going to get the information on that, and we're going to go and take a look at that for you as well. So we do have a new tornado warning also to cover. Thank you, Katie. And as we take a look here, let's go back and get our view changed up so we can look at that one for you as well. If we go down to Montgomery County, and we'll go ahead and pull the watch up so we can see the polygon of exactly where that is. You can see us in the southern part of the county. That's below Biscoe. And if we go in a little bit tighter, you can see where the storm is. Let's go and look at the actual storm. And that storm has not gotten to them yet, so they're putting this out ahead of it arriving. We're going to back out just a little bit, and you can see the cell that is of interest right there. That's the one that's northwest of Wadesboro. And as we look at that, let me pull up the information and read it to you from the National Weather Service on that cell. National Weather Service in Raleigh covers this area as well, has issued a tornado warning for central Anson, southern Montgomery, northwestern Richmond, and southeastern Stanley County in North Carolina until 7:15. This is for a severe thunderstorm, again, capable of producing a tornado. So this is, again, is a Doppler radar indicated rotation. Moving is now located 8 miles west of Wadesboro, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So as we look at this up close, you can see the storm. Let's see if we can see rotation in that particular area. A lot of times it's very difficult in this part of the state. And as we're looking there, I don't see anything that is too impressive to show you, but we'll see what we've got showing nonetheless. And there is some rotation, but this is not really helping us or telling us too much about the storm. But nonetheless, as we look here, we'll look at the cell that is being tracked and the way that is moving northeast. I'm going to give you arrival times for this too. We'll back out. We'll go to our current image. And that particular cell, the way it's moving, would impact Candor in Montgomery County around 7:22, Pinehurst around 7:35. So just to give you an idea of where that is and where it's going. All right, let's go back to our storm in northern Guilford and also the area in southern Rockingham County. And this particular cell is the one we've been tracking the longest. And first, let's look at the polygon. And you can see Guilford County has now been removed. So the warning was in effect till 7. It has now been dropped for Guilford County because the cell has gotten out of Guilford County. I'll back out just a little bit so you can get a better view. Again, there's Greensboro, Burlington. This is all to the north of the cities. This is southeast of Reidsville, southwest of Yanceyville. This particular area is under a tornado warning. I have a feeling that if Blacksburg continues to see this hold together, they will extend it across Caswell County to include Yanceyville, but at the moment it does not. So let's look at the storm and then we're going to look at the rotation again. There's the storm. There's a lot of lightning with this thing. You can see how it's been moving and look at how the lightning is really starting to blow up. There's more lightning with this now than I had been seeing with it. So a lot of lightning strikes going on right there on the Rockingham-Caswell County line, getting ready to approach US 158 that cuts west to east across Caswell County. And let's look now at the rotation and see what we're seeing on this cell. Couple of little spins that we're watching in here. There's two areas of interest, this area and that area, and then the red and the green are not close to each other, but if they end up touching, that could be a trouble area. This area's got a little bit more. The green's not as bright, but nonetheless, let's look at both of these and check out what the rotation speed is. This particular part's 45. This particular area is not going to be as impressive as 38, but the area up here that's approaching Locust Hill has got some pretty strong gusty winds and 40-mile-per-hour rotation still. So both of those areas right in here have got my attention. This little part right there and then this part right in there. Both of those areas are areas of concern for this particular cell as it continues to lift off toward the northeast. With that in mind, let's go back to the radar view. I'm going to back out and we're going to do our projections again of arrival. Then we'll go back and see if the next scan tightens it up a little bit, and we'll see what we got. And I do see something new just popped up here. You can see that the rest of Caswell County, as I mentioned, was probably going to get added. It did. Blacksburg has just updated and extended the warning to include the eastern and northeastern parts, including the town of Yanceyville. And so let's see what we got here on that particular statement. Okay, Central Caswell County, the tornado warning, this is in effect till 7:15. Making sure that, I'm surprised it's not a little bit longer than that, but they've got 7:15 on here. No more specifics on that, but they're saying this is a radar indicated tornado, which again is what we've been tracking. We're looking at exactly what they're seeing on this particular storm. So as we go back to it, there's the storm. There's the current position. And while we're looking at that one tornado warning, notice right here in East Greensboro and Eastern Guilford County, it's a pretty nasty looking storm there too. So don't have anything new on that storm in Caswell yet. We'll go back to it, but I want to look at some of this activity that's to the south in the heart of the Triad. You can see this cell right here that's coming on the east side of Greensboro approaching Burlington. This looks like it's more straight lines, but nonetheless probably got some very gusty winds in it. Get to the current and let's just see what some of these wind speeds are showing. 50-mile-per-hour gust right now close to Julian, and we've got some of those strong winds, 40-mile-per-hour winds south of McLeansville. All that is moving toward Burlington. So if you're in Alamance County, that is moving your way. This is not rotating as much as the cell to the north, so this is probably going to be more of a situation where it's just going to be strong winds that might blow over your trash can and things like that could get tossed around when this comes through. But that's some pretty strong winds that are associated with this particular line. Down to the south, you can see that line rolling through Randolph County has just gone through Level Cross, north side of Asheboro, all the way back to the southwest side. Now, this is a severe thunderstorm. Okay.
Tornado warning right up there in Caswell County.
Caswell County. So that's an update on the tornado warning, I believe, that we've got in Caswell. Yeah, that's the one being continued, and the time is 7:30. So they've extended it to 7:30. So new information on the Caswell County storm. The warning expiration has now been stretched out to 7:30. Now down to the south in Randolph County, southwest of the city of Asheboro, north of the city of Asheboro. So strong gusty winds are rolling through for you as well. And as we take a look at the wind speeds here on the velocities, I'm going to just check and see what kind of wind speeds we've got. And at the moment, you can see 50-mile-per-hour winds southwest of Asheboro, 62-mile-per-hour winds right there, 62-mile-per-hour winds just west of Asheboro. So you got some really gusty winds coming through. This could cause some wind damage throughout Randolph County. Not seeing much rotation with this, but still straight line wind damage could be what a lot of you are going to be dealing with that particular cell, which looks very impressive at the moment on the radar for you there. Now, clear this back. I hit the wrong button, and we'll go back to our regular radar, and we'll just scan down a little bit south, and again just show you what we've got going on down here. This particular storm that the tornado warning was issued for that we talked about a moment ago, that is in southwestern Montgomery County. I'll back out real quick to see where we are. The Triad area It's right up here, Asheboro. It's right down here, the southwestern tip of Montgomery County. You see all that lightning that's enhanced in there with that cell. It's racing to the northeast. A tornado warning is out for that particular cell. And again, as I look, I don't really see the rotation showing up very well on this particular scan, but nonetheless, we know that that is a cell that has to be watched. Now, back to the north. Go back into this one.